You've been told how to lose fat 1,000 times already. Eat more, move more, lift more, sleep, blah, blah. So if it's that simple, why do most people still fail? Well, clearly it's not because you don't know what to do. It's because nobody told you about the mental tug of war that takes place every single day between structure and comfort. And most of the time, comfort wins. So if you actually want to lose fat and get lean, then here are 3 simple truths that you need to accept. Now, this first one's a big lie that keeps most people stuck because it makes the process of getting lean sound way easier than it should be. Most people think that fat loss is this smooth sailing ride and that once you get it, everything clicks. Yeah, that's BS. You see, when I first started on Muay Thai, I used to flinch at everything. Every fake, every step. I was flinching uncontrollably. And because of that, sparring was hard in the early days. But that was until my coach pulled me aside and said, listen, you're gonna get punched in the face. It's unavoidable. Just expect it and keep moving forward. Now, given he didn't say it that nice. Weirdly enough, once I accepted that, I thought way better. And fat loss is the exact same. Some days you're gonna miss steps. Some days you're gonna miss calories. Some days you're gonna have barely any motivation. But that's not failure. That's part of the process. It's natural of humans to think that progress is linear, but that is perfection. And that doesn't exist, which is why the sooner you stop expecting it to feel perfect is the sooner you're gonna start making real progress. If you only show up when you feel great, you're not gonna be doing a lot of showing up. Which brings me to the second truth, and it's the thing that 95% of people overlook. In fact, I don't even know how people function without it because I can't on a day-to-day basis. Now, let me share with you one of the worst days I had when I was back at work. So, I woke up late, rushed to work. Because I rushed to work, I forgot to pack lunch. So, I thought, F it, cool, let me just grab some fast food in the meantime. Then, end of the day's come. Let me drive to the gym. Got to the gym, realized I didn't have my workout clothes. So I thought, cool, all right, whatever. Skip that. Then I went home. Thought, let me just get something to eat. Guess who didn't take the chicken out the freezer? Had to order takeout. Then got to late at night. Thought, let me go to bed. Scrolling. It's 3 o'clock. Then I wake up again, tired. And here's the truth. My day didn't fall apart because I lacked motivation. My day fell apart because I lacked structure. Like I did, most people rely on willpower. But you see, the thing about willpower is, when your day gets chaotic, willpower goes out the window. Structure is the safety net when motivation fails. Because if you don't plan your day will be full of random decisions. And random decisions aren't what leads to fat loss. And this brings me to the third truth. And it's something that we're all told to do at the start of our fat loss journey. But when done incorrectly, it can be very counterproductive. Now, when I was younger, I used to play basketball. And I remember a specific game, a very important game, where I missed a critical free throw shot. For those of you that aren't sure what that is, it's when you stand at the line and you get a free shot at the basket 15 feet away. Now, I wasn't a terrible free throw shooter by any means, but I remember missing that shot and thinking, how? And because I missed that shot with less than 30 seconds left, I remember losing us the game. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why I missed such an easy shot that I make all the time. And it wasn't until my friend came to me and said, bro, you're thinking about making the shot too much. Which sounds backwards, but once I reflected on it a lot more, it makes perfect sense. You see, because the game was on the line, I was hyper-focused, in fact, overly focused on making the shot. But that's exactly what made me miss, because that made me forget about my stance, my elbow positioning, my follow through at the top of the shot. You know, the same things that actually help you make the shot. You see, when you're trying to lose weight and get to a dream body fat percentage, you can't focus too much on the outcome. Yes, I know it's good to have a goal in mind. Yes, I know everybody told you to do that. But you can't hyper focus on it. Now, don't mistake this as me saying that it's bad to have an end goal in mind. You need an end goal because you need to know where you're going. However, you need to look at the actions that lead up to the end goal. Thinking about the results isn't going to get you any closer to it. But doing the things that lead to the result will. Okay, but knowing this is just the first part of the equation. The real value lies in how you implement it. So what actually works is having a system. And if you don't have one, here's one that you can follow over the next simple days. And I'm just going to give you 3 small things to do. That's it. Move every day. I don't care whether it's outside, on a walking pad, or at home. Train 2 to 4 times a week, even if the training isn't perfect. And then make sure that you hit your protein target so that you're retaining muscle and maybe even building some more whilst you're losing fat. And make sure you have a backup plan because life doesn't always go to plan. And you know this. So if you don't have an hour in the gym to perform all your exercises, only do all the compounds in 30 minutes. If you don't have 30 minutes to cook up the proper meal that you were supposed to, then find something that you can put together in 5 to 15 minutes maybe. Because if you think for one moment that you're not going to have a bad day, you are delusional, because consistency doesn't come from perfect days. It comes from not letting the bad days spiral out of control. Listen, losing fat and getting lean isn't exciting. It's boring. And if you think otherwise, that's probably the reason why you're not making much progress. So in this next video, I'll show you the boring approach that actually works and how to use it to finally get unstuck and build a lean, confident body.